Hey, welcome. I'm Katrina De La Cruz. Most people call me Kat, and I've talked to some of you on the phone about potentially purchasing a sauna with Neosauna, or maybe you've already made your purchase and it's in your home or your gym or your yoga studio. And I just wanted to help you understand a little bit more about how the infrared sauna can help with your skin. So, of course, lots of men care about their skin, but particularly women, creating a healthy skin complexion is really important, not only for the health of the body, but also just in terms, for maybe more vain reasons, keeping a really young biological expression of the skin. So we're going to talk about skin health and infrared sauna therapy in two different branches. So on the one hand, we have the infrared light in here, and then on the other hand, we have the color light therapy. So, and I'll let you know where you can find an article that elaborates a little bit more on what we're going to talk about. So when we look at the mid and the far infrared light in the panels that line the back of the sauna, on the side walls, the floor, and up the riser to the bench, those rays come at a different kind of frequency than the near infrared light. So we're talking somewhere in the vicinity of, say, like 850 to 1300 nanometers. And then far infrared light, and light is a spectrum just parenthetically, so it starts to merge into mid and far, but let's just say far infrared light is particularly special because of its ability, based on its wavelength, its frequency, to penetrate deeply into the soft tissues of the body. So when we go into our sauna, we're not just getting into a chamber that has atmospheric heat. Literally, the wavelengths are coming into the core of our body, creating an artificial fever, and that's what begins this powerful detoxification protocol. So if you're alive today, you're going to be, have heavy metal toxicity, whether it's cadmium, mercury, or various other types of toxicities, as well as lingering bacterial infections that use up the resources of the internal organs as well as the immune system. So the far infrared light will help to detoxify the body by heating you up from the inside out. Why is this important for skin health? Well, skin is that membrane that separates our inner world from our outer world. And so often when there's a heavy toxic load on the liver and on the kidneys or other portions of the internal landscape of the body, it starts to show up on our skin. So maybe it shows up as acne, maybe it shows up as fine lines and wrinkles, or very dry skin, maybe psoriasis. Although psoriasis is I just want to say, is a little bit different because that is an autoimmune disorder and merits its own video unto itself. So just by cleansing the inside of the body through heavy perspiration using the far infrared light, we ultimately begin to benefit the entire epidermis. So often, in very severe cases of somebody with a lot going on in their liver, like jaundice, where does it show up? It shows up in a yellowing of the skin and a yellowing of the eye. So by relieving the liver and the kidneys, we actually find that we're able to create a much more beautiful skin texture and resolution. So that's one thing. Detoxifying using the far infrared light spectrum will give you a very radiant glow. Additionally, as you begin the sweating process, you start to cleanse the pores from the inside out. So instead of scrubbing this way, we're pushing anything, any dirt, anything that might be on the surface out. Stage 2, what we can start to see once you start to sweat is that dry skin starts to accumulate. So it's going to be really important, either in the sauna or directly following the sauna, that you exfoliate. So I actually use my jade stone while I'm in the sauna to exfoliate, get out, and then rinse off. You might have a brush in your shower. I think it's actually better to do some of the exfoliating in the shower. I'm in the sauna, have a towel handy because a lot of crikey is going to come off. I know that's not a medical term, but like a lot of dead skin. So you detoxify and then you take off those first layers of skin. When we do that, we start to train the body to regenerate those skin cells. And this is a great time to segue into what does the near infrared light spectrum do for skin health. So collagen, probably the most popular protein of the body, because that collagen in conjunction with the elastin protein allows us to have a youthful, tight, radiant complexion. So it's used in all kinds of marketings for skin creams, lotions, etc. Collagen, a part of the colloquial language. But what we may not understand about collagen is collagen reacts to exposure to the near infrared light spectrum. So how does that really work? How it works is we are a community, meaning this physical body is a community of 50 trillion cells, más o menos. Within each cell, we have a mitochondria. That mitochondria is surrounded by its own little membrane called the cytoplasm C. The cytoplasm C contains photoreceptors. These photoreceptors are hyper receptive to the near infrared light spectrum. As a result, it's as if the cytoplasm C calls in the near infrared light to change the metabolic metabolism of the mitochondria. This helps ultimately to oxygenate the blood, increase blood circulation, but in addition, it promotes increased collagen production. So exposing yourself to near infrared light will begin a cascade that increases collagen production, not only to give you a beautiful, radiant complexion, but collagen also happens to be really important for connective tissue. So if you have anything going on in the shoulders, the hips, the wrists, collagen's really important for that part of the body. Additionally, collagen is also important for bone marrow. Another video, parenthetically, I'll say, having really healthy bone marrow is important because that's where T cell production occurs to keep our immunity high. Let's do that next time. So, far infrared light detoxifies, helps exfoliate. Near infrared light promotes collagen production, which is a necessary protein to keep the skin taut and youthful. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole close-up. But then we come into the color light spectrum. So as we back down away from the far infrared light, we're hovering there at 850, 1300 nanometers. We come down into the near infrared light, still invisible. And we get down and we start to hover around 600 nanometers, and we start to see the visible color light spectrum. So that's going to be the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the greens, the blue, the violet. Then the other side of that, we get the ultraviolet, which you're not going to have any of that in the infrared sauna. If you want to get a tan, you're not going to get it by taking an infrared sauna. Neither are you going to get a burn. So these saunas come with color light therapy. Color light therapy was actually discovered by a scientist at NASA. And so in the late 1960s, when astronauts were coming back to Earth after being in zero gravity, they were experiencing muscular and skeletal atrophy. And so researchers started to experiment with the effects of light and cellular regeneration. Why is this important? Because it eventually gave way to research into how burn victims could begin to regenerate skin cells so that they didn't live with either something that was really detrimental to their health or just their confidence, and to improve their skin. And it was found by exposing these burn victims to the full color light spectrum. So we've forgotten about the infrared light for now. just the color light spectrum. Skin cell regeneration was really remarkable for these victims, and a lot of the scarring either disappeared completely or was greatly improved. So one industrious woman from Nassau thought, if color light works with burn victims, probably it's going to work as an anti-aging or biological reduction of age type of an apparatus. And she went on to create a light therapy device separate from the infrared sauna. Later, it was discovered that using color light therapy in conjunction with infrared light therapy actually magnetized the benefits of the color light. And we can talk about that. It's essentially these shorter frequencies of the color light ride on the giant of the infrared light. So like a surfer gliding atop the surface of a powerful wave. The surfer itself isn't doing anything to move forward. It's the momentum of the wave itself. So let's just quickly talk about what the color lights that we have in the Neosauna. I'm going to turn so I'm turning that light off. That's just the light behind the salt walls, and then so that we can start playing with light. Okay, it's going to be your favorite for some of you. The red light is a collagen booster. So I actually I'll use the red light towards the end of my session. So as you know, I'll go in and I exfoliate. So once that fresh skin is exposed, then I'll do the red light. So you can choose to have the red light for 40 minutes, 5 minutes. You can decide the time that you want to have. So personally, I use the red light towards the end when the fresh new skin is exposed. So let's move on to another color. I wanted to talk about the violet. Thank you. Like a Irby. So violet light is a cleansing light. So if you have any teenage children at home and they're suffering from acne, I highly recommend the violet because that acts to cleanse the skin. It's very effective in treating individuals living with acne or even just like a little bit of pimples. So maybe like before you start menstruating, a couple days before, if you get some more pimples, hit up the violet light to cleanse the skin. And then now that we're on the green, let's just go over the green light. The green light helps to blend. So I have freckles, so I've used a lot of the green light. The green light helps to heal scars, blend the tone of the skin. So if you have like any sun damaged spots that are really noticeable, you can see like I'm quite a freckled person, and the green light has helped to blend the freckling. So that's like something that you would do if you're trying to heal a wound. Maybe if you've had a C-section and you want to work with the scarring or something, you might lie on your back with the green light on. And then the blue light, which should be coming up for us in a moment. The blue light is has a cooling effect on the skin. So if your skin's inflamed, or if you've been out in the sun and you do have a sunburn, if there's any inflammation going on, psoriasis responds really well to the blue. You would want to do the blue. So, for example, if you were coming to see me in my space and you were suffering, or let's just say your teenager was suffering with acne, what I would do is set the temperature really low, so you're still getting all the benefits of the infrared light, but you're not going to be uncomfortably hot. And so for acne, I would do 5 minutes of the violet to cleanse the skin, and then I would do 5 minutes of the blue to bring down the inflammation, and then I would finish with 5 minutes of the green to heal any scarring that might have happened from and like acne scars or whatever might be happening on the face. So you can really choose what kind of light you want to do depending on what's happening in your body. The color light doesn't only benefit the skin, but absolutely it's a very remarkable difference. I don't think I need to tell you all what my age is, but I don't want to age myself right now, but it's definitely been wildly beneficial for me in terms of reducing the biological expression of age and just really creating a healthy skin. Skin's the first thing that the outer world notices about us. The skin protects us from elements on the outside, and it's that kind of just a beautiful barrier between our inner world and our outer world. And it's important to feel good in your skin, and it's very important for confidence and self-esteem. So I have an article on the Neosauna website that you can look at if you want, like all the stuff that I talked about, all the sources are cited there, because I know I was just kind of just free speaking, but so the sources are cited there if you wanted to look into some more detail. Call me. I think if I've talked to you, you know I'm always happy to chat about light and sauna therapy. That's just a sign outside, or email me. So feel free to reach out if you do have any more questions about creating a healthy skin and infrared sauna therapy. So I'm Kat De La Cruz with my Neosauna. Thank you for listening. Hope you wrote down some questions, and